education provides opportunities for whole life, and we don't want that to stop. 26.2 million children are out of school in Pakistan right now, of which about 13.7 million are girls right now. All our schools for Afghan children in Islamabad have closed down already because organizations are not allowed to provide any support to Afghan communities in Pakistan. In the development sector, we face a lot of challenges and issues. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's policy. We have a lot of disasters in Pakistan hitting us. So we are a sector which is, I think, very resilient. When you are there because of a cause, you're not there because of the money. So I think that makes all the difference and that keeps you motivated. And we know that when we globally, such as right now, there's a huge, funding cut. What we find is that there is even more need to then keep working, staying put, staying on ground, because, for example, the girls that we work with, they wouldn't be in education if we are not working with them. So if we pull out, then everything stops for them as well. It's a education provides opportunities for whole life, and we don't want that to stop. Well, as you rightly said, 26.2 million children are out of school in Pakistan right now, of which about 13.7 million are girls right now. It's such a huge crisis. It's not a small crisis that we're talking about. And regardless of what international funding support that has come in, those numbers have only risen. And we're waiting for, we should have new reports and we should have new numbers in the next couple of months as well, which will give us much clearer pictures in terms of where we stand. In terms of what we should do in Pakistan, what the government should do and what the civil society do is to really work together. That has been a huge gap. We've seen a lot of improvement in the last few years where the government is more, I would say, responsive and is working more collaboratively with the civil society. There are a lot of programs going on which are built on public-private partnership models, which is good sign, which is very much the need of the hour. But what we need is the investment, because we are nowhere near in terms of reaching out to all the girls in Pakistan who are currently out of school. We also need to think about that, when the girls are in school, we have to keep them in school. So it's not just about, enrollments, it's also about learning, it's about retention and achievement and then progression. Of course, we work with the government of Pakistan, and compliance for us as an organization is very, very important. And because we meet all the compliance is the reason that we are able to do the work that we're doing on ground. All our schools for Afghan children in Islamabad have closed down already because organizations are not allowed to provide any support to Afghan communities in Pakistan. And as they're moving back, I think, of course, there has to be some kind of transition planning where we are sort of behind, because I don't see that anything has been done. In Afghanistan, of course, as you know, that education for girls is already banned, and girls can only go to schools till primary education. So other opportunities such as setting up online learning programs for them, such work is already going on in Afghanistan, but it's at a very limited scale, because anything like this for girls post-primary particularly is not allowed by the Taliban government at the moment. But however, things can be done, smaller initiatives can be taken. The children who are going back particularly can be tracked as well if a system is put in place so they can be offered further opportunities. The education for girls has been in deep crisis for a very, very long time. So it's not a new thing. But of course, with further cuts, with lesser investment, we would see more problem. We would see more girls out of school. We would see more dropouts, which leads on to early age marriages, more poverty. We see a lot of inclusion issues. On one end, the government, very rightly so, is pushing on the skills agenda at the moment. It's really pushing on the digital inclusion agenda, but all of this can be benefited from properly if girls have at least basic education completed, because that will give them the foundation to learn other skills. Let's just say if in the recent budgets, the government has allocated decent money towards skills development programs and very good amount of money towards digital skills programs. So we want to be able to ensure that our girls are able to access those opportunities. So which we see is going to be a big challenge at the moment, and a lot of groundwork has to be done. Look, on policy level, the government doesn't say we don't want to provide education to girls. And we've seen a lot of policy shifts. For example, we have a girls' education task force in place that, we helped and supported the development of that task force, which shows the willingness at the government level in a very positive manner that, they want to be able to identify certain issues that which are more relevant to girls and not to boys. And we know that girls in Pakistan face multiple challenges which the boys are not facing. So we see that there is a lot of support and there's a lot of motivation at that level to be able to do that, very targeted work for girls in Pakistan. And we need to make sure that particularly for girls, teachers are trained on gender responsive education. So multiple, things have to be done, but it requires a lot of planning. Pakistan is a big country population wise, and we're looking at big numbers. And we also have to keep in mind one of maybe not a challenge, but education is a provincial subject. So every province has the mandate to plan and allocate funds and implement the programs accordingly. So let's say, I think, it's very new, it's very early right now, post the budget times, and we should be seeing a lot more support and funding coming in from the government, because that's what we push for. We don't push for international funding, and investments is good if it comes in, but that needs to be seen as a bonus. The country needs to take responsibility, because under Article 25A, we need to remember it is the state's responsibility to provide education to everyone, regardless of gender. Okay, some very interesting work going on. We do have a lot of partners, even though there is a lot of funding shift in the global sort of space. But we have a very active corporate sector, so there is a lot of funds which are there for under the CSR. And what we're also finding is that more and more corporate sector is inclined towards investing initiatives towards women empowerment, towards girls empowerment. One of our initiative, for example, is funded by Zindagi Bank. And it's the third year now that they're funding this initiative, which is for adolescent girls in the schools to ensure that they stay in school, they don't drop out, but then also learn soft skills, employability skills, entrepreneurship, and digital inclusion. So they're well prepared before they are enter the adult life and work life. So initiatives like these are happening. We have just last week, launched a leadership program for women, 10,000 women in Pakistan, which is supported by Prime Minister Youth Program is our strategic partner. We're working with Mehoho, it's an international organization, and we're also working with L'Oreal Fund for Women. So you could see that it's a big partnership, lots of different organizations coming together with the same aim. So I think work can be done, innovative work can be done, interesting work can be done, which is responsive and responding to the needs of the girls that we have, the challenges they're facing at the moment. I think message for girls is, if they're watching this, that means they have access to internet and a computer or a laptop or a tab. So I think that's the first step to empowerment. If you have access to digital tools, then I think you have no reason to feel like that. Government of Pakistan is, I think, offering a lot of programs for young women, particularly for youth. Prime Minister Youth Program, we're a partner with them, and they're doing a lot of work. They're offering a lot of opportunities to young people. So it's very important that you keep an eye out and see what's going on and what opportunities are out there, and you don't miss out on those opportunities, because everything that comes out has a deadline. You need to make sure that you're prepared for them. In addition to that, I think there's a lot of international scholarships, a lot of international programs that you can look for, and whatever you find suitable based on your dreams and what you want to achieve, you need to align those opportunities with anything that you want to do. Keeping in mind that it's not necessary that you think of something and it's going to happen tomorrow. Everything is a process. It takes time, and you need to be patient, and you need to stay positive, and I'm sure things come through.